Fossil fuels have been the backbone of global industrialization, powering economies and sustaining our high-quality lifestyles. Yet, despite the potential of renewable energy sources like wind and solar, they are currently incapable of meeting humanity's energy needs at an affordable cost. Over 80% of the world's energy still comes from fossil fuels, while renewables contribute a mere 2%. A swift transition to renewables could potentially trigger economic collapse and put lives at risk, particularly in developing regions. Africa needs more fossil fuels, not less. That is a fact. Renewable energy sources are also intermittent, often requiring backup from fossil fuel power stations. Projections suggest that renewables will remain below 10% of global energy resources for the foreseeable future. Concerns about climate change are often met with skepticism. Claims of exaggerated sea level rise projections and unfounded fears of climate refugees are common. Sea levels are rising, but at an average of 3 millimeters per year or 30 centimeters per century, not the 15 meters predicted by some. Furthermore, the role of human-caused CO2 emissions in global warming is hotly debated. These emissions account for only 1% of the annual stock of CO2 in the atmosphere, while terrestrial carbon in the form of CO2 constitutes a mere 2% of the total. The remaining 98% is absorbed by oceans, vegetation, and soils. Some argue that it is not the increase in CO2 that leads to warming, but rather the reverse. While it is true that humans need to access natural resources to sustain modern life, the claim that human activity is the primary cause of climate change and natural disasters such as tsunamis and tornadoes is politically charged and remains a subject of debate. Criticism is often levied on climate change policies, including proposed climate lockdowns and efforts to decarbonize emerging markets, which are viewed as hindering economic growth. Developed nations, historically major emitters, are accused of using climate change to stifle development in regions like Africa. The European Parliament has attacked the oil project in Uganda and Tanzania, advancing environmental and social risks. The European Union appointed itself to override the approval of the project by the Ugandan Parliament and has exerted pressure on insurance companies and banks to retract their support for the project. Fortunately, Ugandan President Museveni did not yield and pursue alternative sources of funding and partnerships. So, is the push for renewable energy a feasible solution or a misguided dream? As with any complex issue, the answer is not black and white. Science is often invoked to justify laws and measures geared to reduce global warming, but like any other complex topic, climate change suffers the curse of dimensionality, which makes it very difficult to accurately model and predict the impacts of human activity on global warming, as the complexity of the climate system and the sheer amount of data required to model it accurately make it difficult to capture all relevant variables and interactions of the human, planetary, and solar systems on Earth's climate. The debate between fossil fuels and renewable energy is a delicate dance of economics, environmental concerns, and political power interplays. Climate extremists have escalated to the point of becoming climate terrorists, intruding into the daily lives of regular citizens under the guise of environmental credo. What's particularly egregious is the hypocrisy of climate evangelists who propagate their environmental message while frequently utilizing polluting private jets to traverse the globe. It's clear that our current energy infrastructure needs to evolve, but the path forward remains uncertain. In summary, while renewable energy holds promise, its current capabilities fall short of meeting global energy needs. Fossil fuels, despite their environmental impact, remain a critical part of the energy mix. The role of human activity in climate change is a contentious issue, with differing views on its impact and the measures needed to mitigate it. As we navigate this complex landscape, it's clear that a balanced, informed approach is necessary to ensure a sustainable future.